What is up, savages? This will probably be, some of you are probably happy, but this will probably be my last swap video for a while. I've been on them for like a solid week now, diving into different aspects of the project and how to mine it in various ways and all about the ins and outs of the project. Like a week ago, I think, well, 6 days ago, we did that. Not a real deep dive, but it definitely will get you up to speed on what swap is all about. So check out those videos if you are so inclined. But tonight we are going to do something probably a little bit more fun than stuff that we've been doing so far. We'll dive into mine and swap on Windows and also Hashrate OS, and we're going to look at some overclock settings and some GMiner parameters and stuff like that, and we're going to do that right after this. So what is up, everybody? Let's take a real quick look at the market. It actually turned green right before the stream. Before that, it was kind of red. It wasn't looking great, but it was not really red. It was kind of going sideways. And you can see I've got it's not really bright back there, but I'm going to have the green lights on for green days. You can see the little background light there. And you can see it probably really good over here. That's the ambient color there is going to be whatever, if it's red or green that day. So just a little added thing, lighting situation there. So should be pretty cool to keep an eye on that. And what we are going to look at tonight is some more about swap. I've gone into this project pretty hard the past 6 days. And tonight I wanted to just do some overclock settings and maybe some parameters and GMiner and things like that. So I do not mine on Windows very often, very rarely, and with the new machine, and I've got the 1660 Super in this one, I plan on doing a little bit of content with Windows mining, but I mean the bread and butter for me is Hashrate OS and Linux-based OSs, mining OSs. So right now it's mainly Hashrate OS. So we'll cover. I added it in like this so that we could hopefully cover more content and have more coverage of different operating systems and stuff like that. So if I make a mistake on the Windows side, just understand I don't mine with Windows. So just hit me up in the chat and say, hey, you need to do this or whatever. So what's up, the Deadwood? What's up, Jay Bohannon? How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. All right, so let's look at, real quick, we are going to look at what is going on, what I'm mining, and not really what I'm mining, but you know that I'm mining swap still. So we're mining swap at 32.89 still. It's like solid steady, and we're on GMiner 1.93, and we're on the swap official pool with Hashrate OS, and we've got a 6 GPU NVIDIA rig 10 series here, and this is what the rig is. Now my local machine here, where we're running Windows 10, we are going to have the MSI 1660 Super, and I'm actually already mining with it, just kind of playing around with it. I did notice last night I was goofing around with it a little bit, and I think that because of all the stuff I'm doing on the machine right now, it's actually affecting the hash rate a little bit, because with the same settings I was getting 4.4 graphs per second last night with basically these same settings, and I was getting like 6 graphs per watt. So we're going to take a little bit of a look at that. I don't know, I've got a lot of stuff running, so actually I can close out of this. So yeah, some of the things I can close out of, some I can't, but I think that some of that is actually affecting the hash rate. So anyway, the fans on the GPU are not going crazy or anything, but they are spinning, and normally under normal conditions they're not even spinning whenever I'm just streaming normally without mining. So yeah, cool stuff, but we'll look at that in a few minutes a little bit deeper. So as far as what's going on, you can see here that I've already got some overclock settings here, and honestly, these overclock settings are straight from what to mine. So if you go to what to mine and you put your mouse over the GPU, then you know, your particular GPU that you want to set up, you can see, actually, you know what, I've got it a little bit less than that. You can see down there where it says using plus 150 plus 500 with 75 TDP thermal design power, and that references how much power the device, in this particular instance would be a GPU processor, can but withstand or run through it and still be able to dissipate the heat that's generated by that power. So 75% of total, you would get your TDP off of a spec sheet for your GPU. You'll normally see it something like max power. It won't always say TDP, but it might say max power or something along those lines. Probably anything on a spec sheet that has wattage associated with it will probably be referencing your TDP. So that's how we would calculate that. And let's go and look real quick, because I do see that I think I have 100 in here instead of, yeah, so I've got 100 instead of 150, and I probably got that off of Overcooked Panda's database, and we'll get to that in a couple minutes. So if you wanted to change the overclock settings, you would click on tuning in Hashrate OS over here, and then here it defaults to the first GPU 0 being checked. So you got to keep in mind that if you're updating more than one, then you would select the ones that you wanted to update. But just also keep in mind, whenever you select another one, it actually erases the selected values over here. If you only select one, then it will throw those values into the data blocks over here. So just keep that in mind. If you click more than one, you see how they disappear. So if you want to monitor, or if you want to document like what they are, obviously they're still right here in front of you. If you wanted to click like this, you still have the overclock settings in front of you, but just something to think about as you're clicking around in Hashrate OS. All right, so the 1070 is said to throw, well, first we want to kind of document what we're at right now on the 1070. I don't think that we're going to get any crazy changes in GPS or anything like that, the graphs per second. I think that this is pretty optimal. I think it's pretty efficient the way it's set up right now with these particular overclock settings, but let's take a look anyway. So we're going to go 150, 500 straight off of what to mine. Let's go to tuning. So it's 5.08 right now. And I think these are real steady, fairly steady. So I think that, yeah, we'll just call it 5.08. Sounds good to me. Let's go to tuning. We'll choose both of them. Actually, you know what? We'll leave one of them with the original setting because I have two of each. So that'll actually be a good way to test it. And we'll go 150 on the core, 500 and 115. All the other stuff stays the same. Update rig. Now I know that, you know, in order to get an actual value, you need to take an average over a long period of time, and this is just a few minutes, so, or just a few seconds. So it's not really a great test, but it at least might show some difference. Let me check the chat, see what y'all are up to. What's up, Nefarious Technology? What's up, Shuby? What's up, Serpent X Special Forces? What is up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Just doing some crazy overclock stuff tonight on Swap, mining Kookaroo 29S. Using GMiner 1.93. So whenever you update rig and you get that little success block up here, it's going to take the miner offline temporarily, you know, and redo the settings, but it won't affect your online time, right? So, you know, you still see right here where it says 2 days, 1 hour. So that's not affected. It just stops the miner and fires the miner back up with the new overclock settings. Yeah, everybody smash the like button. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, I wish I would not have been so public. I wish I would have been like him, you know, and not ever show my face kind of thing. Not that, I mean, it's okay, but I like that part of, you know, kind of being anonymous in a lot of ways. So, but I think yeah, that would be funny if he did a face reveal, but it was actually him wearing a red panda mask. That would be pretty good. All right, so let's see what this thing is doing. $32.91. I think that's a little bit more than what we were earlier overall. And then we're gonna look right here. We see that the 1070 that we've got the 150 core on, and that's something to really note, especially with this particular algorithm. This is Kukuru 29S, which is core intensive, right? So, actually no, I'm thinking that backwards. Shoot, I'm forgetting. It's actually, is it core or memory? Hang on, let me think. I'm tired, as you can see. Why can I not remember that? It's pretty basic stuff. Okay, right. Okay, so it's not core dependent. It is more memory dependent. That's why but you can see right here, it did get a little bit of a bump whenever I upped the core, just a little bit. Yeah, so it's more memory dependent. That's right, because it tends to be, depending on how it's configured, the actual algorithm, how it's designed, it can be ASIC resistant. So, but you can make it. You can also configure it to where it is ASIC friendly. So, which is one of the goals of SWAP. Not goal, but they would go to ASIC friendly. I think it's. I'm gonna mess all this up. My mind is just racing right now. I don't know why. All right, so let me stay on track here. Let me stay on track. All right. So we bumped it up on the core just a little bit. Probably would bump it up a little bit on the. Actually, you know what we should be doing? We should be going through the spreadsheet. Let's do this. Let's break it down on here. So we are looking at the 1070, and we've got 150 on the core, 500 on the memory. Power limit was set to 115. And then at the wall, or maybe not at the wall, but in Hashrate OS, the power draw is 92. So 70% would be 105, and I think I've got it at 115, right? So I don't have it set exactly right as far as the 70%. but we'll leave it where it's at right now. And then temp, we've got 59. That's not really used in any type of calculation or anything, but it's just for documenting it. Driver version, I think that's wrong there. I think we got to go to dashboard, maybe. I know I saw the driver version on here somewhere for, I think it's under system info, but there's some stuff in there that I'm not going to click on that. Not going to worry about the driver version. It's the latest, whatever's on Hashr8 OS. So, and then the cost of the GPU. This is just to get some calculations because the spreadsheet actually goes through and shows like break-even point and stuff like that. I don't know what a 1070 is going for right now. Let's just call it 240. No idea what's going on. And then kilowatt hour per kilowatt, my cost is 11 cents. It's on 24 hours a day. So that should have changed. Let's see, 23. Yeah, see how it changes the wattage. So there's a calculation there. So it costs $7.29 a month. All right, so now we would go and we would calculate the 1070. Let's go to what to mine and go to, we'll just stay here. We'll go to the 1071 and then we'll go calculate. And they've already added the Kookaroom 29 for Grin, new Grin algo there. All right, so one 1070 getting, that's a little high because we're only getting, I mean, this is, what was it, 5.13. So 5.13 and 100, it was only at like 97 watts, I think. Alright, so it looks like we should get between 7 and 8, so we'll call it 7.6. This is all just right now, so 7.6. And how much is each coin worth? Let's go to CoinMarketCap. We'll look up swap, and it's 5 cents roughly, 0.05. So it's about 14 cents a day. That would be on that GPU. If the GPU costed $240, then it would be a 4.8 year break-even point, 1,750 days. So let's go and verify those numbers real quick. We'll just hop over to what to mine and plug in on the coin itself. We were getting 5.14, 97, 11 cents. Calculate. So yeah, it comes up with the right amount for what we saw earlier. So this is saying 15 cents. We calculated it on the spreadsheet at 14 cents, so we're right on, pretty close there. But if you could get the card for say 150, then that's still a 3-year break-even point. All right, let me check the chat. Where are we at? We're at 9:51. What's up, Crypto Mikhail? All right, so that is a 1070. Let's look at a 1660 Super Gaming X on Windows. So let's look at this. So I'm already, like I said, I'm already up and mining. I have MSI Afterburner running. With these settings, I'm at plus 100. Now, I had asked Red Panda, I know that you're supposed to like split this, or basically it should be about half on the core and half on a memory as what you would put into a Linux OS. But man, I put half of this and it dropped way down, like in the 2s on the graphs per second. So I just pumped it back up to exactly what the overclock settings were anyway on Linux on Hashrate OS, and it came back up. Now I'm telling you, I was getting well over 4. I think I was getting like 4.5 without all this other stuff running. You know, streaming, wallets. I've got wallets running here. You know, MSI Afterburner, which that one would have to be. I got Discord running. You know, so there's plus all these tabs that I've got open over here. So I think all this is drastically affecting the capabilities of the card mining right now. So just remember that. Okay, so I'm going to, let's close this. Oh, you know what? I want to show you something cool. All right, I want to show you something cool on Hashrate OS for troubleshooting. All right, I know I'm kind of jumping around here, and sorry about that, but I just remembered I wanted to show you this. All right, so you can see here that we're mining, you know, swap still, no changes or anything like that. If you go to, let's say that something happens, or you want to add a parameter and you want to know what the mining, you know, your miner.exe parameters. I think the default looks something like this. So if you wanted to see this, what settings are actually being applied to the miner itself, the GMiner, in Hashrate OS. If you go to the console, and there's a couple of different ways of getting there, but you know, you can go either way. Log into the console. Hey, what's up, Red Panda? Log into the console, and then you can see here you're just presented with a command prompt, basically, right? Or a prompt, a command. Then if you press up arrow, the up arrow, that is going to show you the last command executed by the miner or by the OS to launch the miner. So you can see what all your parameters are, what they have done, what they have selected for you, so that if you need to change something, then you would know what you needed to change. You could see, you know, whether there's something goofed up in here somehow. And I think that is just a huge troubleshooting step. If you're having a problem, like if your miner's not mining for whatever reason, then this can definitely help you out. Like a good example here would be, what if you wanted to add, a parameter, something like, let's see here. Let me look at the README. Like, let's say you wanted to add, what's one that you could add? Like a temp limit. Because you can see, well, you can't see it on this one. You can on, if you launch it in Windows, you can see that the temp limit, but you're actually kind of letting the OS do that, so I don't really want to mess with that one. Let's see, it looks like they don't have, one thing that they definitely don't have here is an electricity cost. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't have that option in here. It might be, maybe that's something that's in the OS. I don't know. But if you want it, let's just go ahead and add it just for the heck of it and see if it works. So if you wanted to add a parameter here, you know, this is console, so this is kind of like a, it's not read only, but you know, the miner is already running and stuff, so you don't really want to do, you can't really do much in there as far as this goes, because you want to put it into the parameters of the actual wallet and all that stuff. So if you go into wallets, and then I think I'm using desktop, I believe. So you go to edit over here, Then go to swap official 193, GMiner 1.93, and then down here under GMiner 1.93 you click edit, and then right here you can add new parameters, right? New miner settings. So we're going to add the electricity cost parameter. I think you have to put it over here, if I'm not mistaken. But I want to say that you have to, now let's see what that does. I think you have to put a parameter in there too, but we'll see. Because you have to tell it, I think you have to tell it what your cost per, let's go ahead and throw it in there. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but we will see. Alright, so we're going to click save here. It should, yep. So it's going to, I think it'll kick the, no, that's right. We have to actually, we have to come in here and actually go to action, select the rig there, mining, okay, and then apply to all. And that should kick off, yep. See, now it's going to restart the miner. And then maybe we might get kind of lucky if those parameters aren't right and it's going to not mine, right? And then that way we can go into the console and actually see or hopefully kind of see what's going on, what's wrong with it. And they do have a really good log here also for troubleshooting notifications. This works really well. Lots of good information on here if you come in there and look at it, if you're having trouble with it. All right, so it looks like it did just fire it right back up and no problem. So let's go back to the console. And we're gonna hit the up arrow, and you're gonna see that somewhere in here, electricity cost right here was added to there. So it actually adds, whatever you add looks like it puts it right after the miner program itself, the executable. And it must have liked that because it didn't give an error or anything. So if we go to there, if we go miner show, then we'll see what happens here. There should be like some type of electricity cost somewhere on here. So it is up and mining and everything's fine. It doesn't have a problem, so that's good. Although I don't see anything related to electricity. It might not be. It might only pop up from time to time, maybe. I don't know. We'll let that run for a few minutes. Does anybody know if Brandon's live or not? Yep, he is. All right. Oh, he's doing a premiere. Check the chat over here, see what y'all are up to. Hey, what's up, Daniel Larson? Chan Coin, what's up? Chan Coin, I have Hive OS on some USBs, but they're not. I don't have any rigs running on it right now. I would imagine that swap does pretty well on P104s. I don't know for sure, but I would imagine it does all right. No, Hive OS is still good. I like them both. I don't have a problem with either one of them, to be honest. Personal preference at this point. So I think that, let me go back over here because I'm gonna launch this on Windows because I think that oh no, yeah, that's not right. So what I want to do is I want to see if, let me my swap.bat or my swap.bat file, mine swap.bat file that launches the GMiner and all that. Let's see here. We're gonna do this on the Windows miner here. Electricity costs. Let's see if that works or not. Save that. Launch it. This power calculator on, I would assume that that's what that is. We can test that too. Oh, this is 192. I didn't grab the. I didn't grab the latest one. I don't think there's much difference for Kookaroo 29S between 192 and 193, but. Yeah, see down here it has electricity. Now on Hashrate OS, I don't see that at all. So maybe I need to take out the actual cost. It's almost like it's ignoring it, I think. Which is kind of a good thing that it's ignoring it and still working. Huh. All right, I think that is this up yet?
Test 1 2.
All right, so yep, I'm going to end it right here. We did a little bit, didn't quite cover as much as I wanted to, but that's okay. We can tidy everything up tomorrow for Fireball Friday, and that starts at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I think that it should be good tomorrow. I'll just probably clean up a lot of the stuff that I missed or didn't get to that I wanted to during the week, and then we'll just have some fun and talk some crypto. Hopefully we have a good day in the market and all that stuff. But for now, let's go ahead and head over to Brandon Coin's live stream. Looks like he's premiering actually. I think it says streaming, but I don't know if it's live or not. We'll see. All right, I will see y'all tomorrow night. Stay savage, everybody.